Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Marisa and I wanted to talk about what my NCLEX experience was. So this is very fresh on my mind. I literally just took it this past Friday and today is Monday. I found out that I passed amazingly. And I just wanted to share some things that I didn't realize before I had gone in. And so I thought it would be good to maybe help someone out there who's about to take it. Question number 1, how did I prepare for the NCLEX? So I wasn't like super rigorous about it. I had Kaplan through my school, so I utilized their like question bank, and I also did their like CAT exam as well. I used Archer. I did their CAT exams, and then I also watched the Mark K videos. So can I say all of that helped me? I mean, I don't really know, because it's such a like bizarre exam once you get there, but that's what I did. I didn't do like 1,000 or so questions. I maybe did like, I don't know, 300 total over the course of like a couple months. I did end up pushing my date back and stuff like that because I felt like I wasn't ready and I was really nervous. But I almost wish I would have taken it, because once I got there, I realized that what I did wouldn't have even made a difference. So, anyways, that's what I did to prepare. I think the Mark K videos are good if maybe you're not remembering stuff from school, or I had a pretty, and I mean, our school is really hard as far as like tests. Every school is hard. But I remembered a lot of stuff from like each semester, and I think that helps. And if not, I would definitely do the Mark K, because that'll give you the information that you need to answer the questions. As far as seeing like a lot of the content, it was not too minimal. Like a lot of the Mark K videos I watched, I didn't even get a question on some of them. So, all right. Question number 2, what were the questions like? I think the questions on the NCLEX are most like the ones I was taking on Kaplan, only because they're very short questions, like 1-sentence questions. They don't give you a lot of like content. Like, I have used UWorld, so I kind of know what that's like. UWorld's more like detailed and kind of makes you want to analyze things, and as much as they say it's not, I felt like a lot of the questions I were getting were kind of knowledge based, and I had to make like an educated guess, is what the whole entire thing felt like. Anyways, trailing off, there were a lot of priority questions. So if you're gonna practice questions, I would do a lot of priority questions. They had a lot of select all that apply, which I heard, and I didn't really think I had a lot, but maybe I did, is a sign that that's good, because you are like those are harder questions. So the more you get those, it's a better sign that you're doing well while you're taking the test. Okay, so with COVID, they changed the rules, and they had actually made the maximum number of questions to 145. I like that, because I can't imagine going in being like, okay, I have to mentally prepare to take like 275 questions or whatever it used to be, because that's intense. Like, I usually get to question 50 and I'm like a little bit tired. I also take longer than other people with questions. Like, I will have to like reread it a few times, and I've always been like that, and go through the answers, and it takes me a lot longer to answer one question And I don't know, I guess that all adds up, and by the time I get to like a certain number, it feels exhausting. Okay. So I ended up actually getting to I mentally prepared to do 145. I had been practicing. I did one exam, I think it was a cat archer exam for 145, and that was rough. But I finished that one, and I had kind of mentally prepared for when I took the NCLEX that I would end up having that. The nice thing is that they do let you take breaks at any point. You just have to like raise your hand. You have to go through the whole security process again. But if you need like a mental refresher, then you can just like step out the room and kind of shake some stuff off and then go back in, if that's your style. What was test day like? So, this is the part of the NCLEX that I wish I would have known before I like went into it, because this was very different than what I was expecting. I knew it was going to be like very intense with like security and stuff like that, but I don't think you're so worried about like passing and actually taking the test that you don't think about all this other stuff. And then when you get there, it's very nerve-wracking. So you go into one room where you're kind of like seated far apart because of COVID, and you're waiting your turn to go up to the desk. So what they do is when you get to the desk, you give them your ID. They give, if you have like your purse or other things, you can put it in a locker. And then if you have anything electronic, like a smartwatch, or if you have like your phone, or anything else that you could potentially cheat with, they put all of that into like a little baggie that gets like tape sealed, and you put that in your locker with your other stuff, and you can't open it. They have to be the ones that open it when you leave. So that was interesting. The people there were really like intense about everything, so it makes you a little bit on edge. And then you have to, I don't know if other places are different, like as far as like fingerprints or how they go about it, but we had to like put our hand over like a little palm reader, and then and then have our picture taken and stuff like that. So that was the first process. So you go through all that, put everything in your locker, and then you would like walk down the hall to like where the actual like testing area was. So when you get to the testing area, oh, and you have to like pull up your sleeves and go empty out all your pockets, lift up your hair, like it was a lot. Then you have to do it all over again when you walk down the hall before you go into the actual testing room. So you have someone there, she's gonna like go through the whole thing. You have to do your palm again. You have to like, I had glasses, I had to put them on some spinny thing, and she'll give you earplugs if you want, or they have like little earmuff things, and then a little like it's not a dry erase board because it's like laminated paper, and like a little pen that you can use, and you can't erase anything that you've written on it. So then you get to walk into the testing room, and this was my experience. I'm sure there's variations in what y'all might experience, but anyways, then you walk into the testing room area, and the room is set up kind of like a C shape. So you have like, you can see everyone testing like from behind, in little cubicles with their own computers. And in the center is like this like glass dome, and that's where the lady is sitting, and you can kind of see behind her desk too when you're like going in, and she's got like monitors up with like cameras and all this stuff, watching like all kinds of different angles of everybody. And so it's very like uptight and strict, which you can expect it to be, but you just don't really soak it in until you get there and you're like, okay, I'm afraid to move. So I sat down, I kind of tried to like get a little comfortable, and then I just jumped right in and started getting questions. I did utilize for only 70, I was there, it maybe took me like about 2 hours to do 75 questions. I was like not really in the zone in the beginning because I was kind of shook up by it all and like feeling anxious. And then I'm pregnant, so I had to pee a lot. I drank too much before I went in. I had like a tea and stuff, and so I had to pee twice. I like peed at question like 15, and then I pee again at like question 30. And then I took another break probably around like question 60, where I like went and ate some like oranges and nuts and stuff to like revive my body. So that was my testing day experience. Okay, so then when I left, trying to remember, they like take your ID again, make sure it's you, and then they'll like give you, you'll have your key, you can take the stuff out your locker, and then they will open your like phone and electronic bag and give that all back to you, and then you're free to feel very confused about what just happened. Okay, one more thing I didn't really mention in the question section, but I just wanted to say, like, it was very bizarre. Like, I felt a lot of the questions were really random. I had a lot of questions on one type of drug, and then I didn't get any peds questions, and I'm a freaking ped nurse, so that was weird. I only had like 1 or 2 OB questions. I had a lot of priority questions, kind of like who would the nurse see first, or just like those Q, like first, or what should the nurse do first, questions like that. So I would like study those mostly. And then really just like random stuff, some stuff that didn't even relate to like nursing, like electrical wire safety. So anyways, how do you find out if you passed or failed? So I went through Pearson VUE, and I didn't do the trick because I heard that like some people were doing it and it was taking longer for their like actual scores to come back, so I was just gonna wait. I took it on a Friday. I checked Saturday, of course, because who doesn't, and it said like processing. And then Sunday, yesterday, I went because I had worked this weekend too, so after I got off of work, I had like checked again and it still said the same thing, and I was like, oh. But I went on to the Pearson VUE website, and they had like an option where you could do like quick results. And so I paid like $7.95, and I got, and like it was like after you confirmed pay, it was like, and it brought you to like all your like testing information, and confirmation number, this, that, when you tested, and then it said like status, and it said pass, and I was like, oh, thank God. So that's how I found out. Now I haven't checked my email today because I've just been like, woo, it's behind me already. But my friends were saying like that they got like congratulation emails like after the 48-hour mark and stuff like that. So you find out pretty quickly, even if you don't like pay for the quick results, and they're technically unofficial because they have to do like a double check before they can give results officially. Parting advice. My advice would be to let's say you have nothing like crazy in your life going on. Just take it. Because I wish I would have done that in the beginning. I mean, had just moved, and like, I don't know, I was exhausted from nursing school. Like, maybe wait a month. Don't push it back like super crazy, because wherever you are in like your ability to pass is like kind of where you're gonna be. So I would say, like, take it, get it over with, see what happens. You'll probably feel like you fail, like everyone else says, and then you could pass and be done with it, instead of having a situation like, let's say you like wait super long and you like are preparing super crazy and then you fail. You still have to wait another month and a half before you can take it again. It's like prolonged your like situation even longer than if you would have just taken it, and then you would have waited a month and a half, and at the time that you like originally took it, you know what I mean, you'd be taking it a second time. So that's something to think about. Yes, you will feel nervous, you're gonna feel unprepared. That's normal. I talk to a lot of my like friends and coworkers and stuff, and they felt the same. I felt very unprepared because I just like never like sat down and like really made myself study like I used to in nursing school, and I felt like that was like a reflection of how I would do, and apparently wasn't. So to do anything, if you have a good core of like knowledge, I would do, or even not, just do practice questions. You made it through nursing school, you know the basics, you're familiar with stuff, so do a lot of practice questions. I think that might be the only thing that like really benefits in helping. Focus more on like priority questions, because I think it like goes through a process where if you get some like basic knowledge questions right, which are kind of straightforward that most people can figure out, and then it brings you to the harder level of like priority questions. If you're able to get those right, then that gives you a higher chance of passing. If you really only know the like knowledge questions and you don't really practice how to approach a priority question, that could like hurt you maybe. So I would do that. And then when you are taking the exam, it's going to feel like every question that you come to, this was my experience and a lot of other people said so too, so I don't know, you know, it's not guaranteed you'll feel that way, but a lot of people were saying that they just felt like they were guessing the whole time, and that is a horrible feeling when you're trying to like rationalize if you have passed this like most important exam you will take. So just, if you feel that way, like, don't let that get to you. You can freak out about it once you get out there. Just keep approaching every question. Use as much of your knowledge as you can to like think about it that way, and then also think about it in like safety and like not super real life, but like most appropriate way of like handling it. So I would kind of go at it like that, because you are gonna get nervous like when you get to questions and you're like, okay, this is another one that I literally have no idea. I have to guess, and you're like, okay, got that one wrong, got that one wrong, but apparently you're getting some of them right. So just keep doing what you're doing, and don't focus too much on that. Next piece of advice would be just to stay relaxed. If you have a lot going on in your life, or maybe you have a lot of stress going on, then that would maybe be a reason to push it back. But while you're taking the exam, don't freak out. Don't freak out at every question. Just breathe, read the question, take a step back, even ask yourself, what is this asking me? Like, is this seeing if I know this? Is it seeing if I understand this? If it don't read like too far into it, just like straightforward. What is that? And they're simple. They are straightforward. You can't read too much into them. And then if you don't know, go through the answer options and think about what would make the most sense and just answer the questions. Because the worst thing you can do is get your anxiety going up, and then your like functioning knowledge brain part is gonna just be like clouded, and you can't see as clearly as you would if you had just relaxed a little bit. So anyways, that was my NCLEX experience. If you are watching this and you're about to take the NCLEX, good luck. You've got this. It's hard to be in that spot because you are like walking into a dark hole and you have no idea what the other end is going to be, but just have faith that it'll be okay. You know, you've worked hard all the way to get to this point, and it'll be fine. No matter what happens, everybody's journey is different to get here. That's what I've come to learn. Number one thing about nursing, nobody takes the same path. So have faith in yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, and everything will work out at some point. So good luck. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll come at y'all with some more nursing related videos too.